Hi everyone, Sophia here with my public service announcement for today. Today is known to a lot of people as Christopher Columbus Day, but to me it is Indigenous Remembrance Day because it's a day where I celebrate and remember my ancestors. My father's family comes from Dominican Republic, and in 1492 the Caribbean was where Christopher Columbus stumbled upon on his way to India. He met the people that lived there, and the people that lived there were named the Tainos by Christopher Columbus. The word Taino, as far as we know it, means good and noble. So when Christopher Columbus came onto the shores of Dominican Republic, the people that lived there said Taino, Taino, which means good, noble people. They were trying to say, we are good, noble people. And that is why the Tainos are named the Tainos today. So as is with most Native American stories, invaders come in and indigenous people look different than them. And there's a language barrier. There's a lot of obstacles between these two people. The Tainos were amazing navigators. They watched the stars. They knew the seas better than anybody. They ate fish from the shore. They made spicy yuca soup and pottery. The people that existed and lived and thrived on those islands before the Spaniards came over. Sure, as many people do, they had enemies, they hunted, they gathered, and they fought for their own territory. Columbus wanted gold, but what he failed to realize is that there wasn't a lot of gold on these islands. And once his resources of gold were done with, he was greedy. As the push of gold kept going and there was less and less gold to get, other slaves started to come in, and really the African slave trade started. They brought the African slaves over to the Caribbean. They started to do the sugar plantation. The slave trade is really where our history books start. The Spaniards took advantage of the Tainos. They used their weapons against them. They used diseases against them. And they also thought that they were better than them. But what we don't hear about is the heroes of the Tainos, are the people that fought against the Spaniards for years and years and years. People like Herrenquillo and Hatuey and Anacaona, who was a woman, by the way. Bartolomé de las Casas, who was a friar that first came in on the Spaniard side and then saw that things were wrong and wanted to change them, but he failed at those attempts. The Tainos shared everything that they knew. And something else that we don't realize is that a lot of Spanish words come from the Taino language. Words like barbacoa and canoa and huracan. These are words that were Taino before they were Spanish. Right now in New York City at the National Museum of the American Indian, there is an exhibit that shows a little bit of the history of the Tainos as well as the movement that has happened here in the States and all over. A lot of people that celebrate being Hispanic are also Taino, and a lot of us don't know that. In the early 90s, there were people that came together and said, we need to talk about this. We need to tell people that the Tainos are still here and strong. And ever since then, there have been more and more little groups that have been made. Little yucayeques, bohíos, that means group, culture, community. All of those things have been formed, and there are over 20 different groups today that all celebrate and encourage education on the Taino culture. There are people I know that have gone to jail to protect ceremonial grounds to make sure that the ceremony spaces in the Caribbean aren't being torn down for new buildings to go to. There are people I know who have fought at the UN, who have fought for so many of our people to be recognized. I talk to students that I teach. They have no idea about the Tainos because it's not being taught in school. It's a history that maybe you find out if you do Caribbean studies in college, but outside of that, it's really hard to find that information on a base level. It's so important for me to share this on this very special day because this is a day where I am grateful for my ancestors, for keeping the knowledge and the traditions in little ways that they did, whether it be in the food, in the words, in the songs. All of those kinds of things are things that were orally passed down from 500 years ago. The Taino exhibit at the museum is so amazing, and I highly, highly, highly recommend that everyone who watches this video go and visit this exhibit. Learn about the Taino people, learn about who they were, what they fought for, and who we are now. My Taino name is Huluka Inaru, which means Rainbow Spirit Woman. And that's why I have my rainbow on today. And this is a beautiful shawl that my aunt knit for me. And I'm proud to wear all the colors of the rainbow. That is how I believe the world should be, is full of colorful people that appreciate all the colors all the time. Thank you for watching this video and learning a little bit about me and a little bit more about the Taino people. Please, I encourage you to share this video, show people that today is a day to recognize the Indigenous people of the Caribbean. Let this be the Indigenous Remembrance Day. So with that being said, Bomatum, which means thank you in Taino.
Wabanse Shatavira O Kama Yokahu Atabe